Greetings and salutations. This is the Arthouse Legends Vidcast. With me are my great co-hosts from the Arthouse Legends podcast. Introduce yourself, boys.
Hi guys, John Lobster here.
Hi, and as you can read down here, it's me, Kent. Ooh,
And
technology.
I like see you guys. This is weird.
I know.
How did you get inside this box?
Technology,
How'd you
man.
get in there?
And this is, of course, your host with the most, the MovieDude Eric. And we are going to be talking about the 2015 Academy Awards. I believe it's the 87th.
87. And what you guys don't realize is I've been inside this box the entire time. Octavia Spencer was supposed to keep an eye on me to make sure that I stayed. I think
see.
Robert Duvall maybe fell asleep. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me say, on site, if that box seriously never moved and never got out of line of sight of the audience, that was
How
probably a
did
cool trick.
Do it.
That would have been a cool trick.
Do it.
For us at home, the camera came off of it. It was out of mind so often, it didn't seem like a trick.
But did you go to the live streaming website to watch it? No, because who cares?
Because who the hell can? Yeah. We're an hour over. Let's spend 5 minutes on this gag.
Yeah.
Which is probably cool for the people there, but it's not good TV.
All right, enough about that.
Well,
Okay.
well, actually, let's ask. I mean, what did y'all think of the overall presentation?
I mean, it's. Go ahead, Kent.
And Neil Patrick Harris needs better joke writers.
I think the jokes that were written were good. It's the ones that he did off the cuff that fell a little flat.
Well, how can you tell what was off the cuff?
Well, like after Citizen 4 won the award, he made the Snowden crack. And I was like,
For some reason.
yeah. I'm like, that you just came up with that on the spot, or maybe you had that in the back of your head in case. But yeah.
And
I don't know.
I
I
mean-
like the some treason joke. The one about that to wear a dress like that takes a lot of balls.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I mean, the timing of it was a little off, but the joke itself, I thought, was.
I mean,
No.
the best one was the beginning where he said, "Now we honor Hollywood's best and whitest." I mean,
Yeah.
brightest. That, and then
They were-
to do
yeah.
that and then launch right into the musical number to open the show, which was fantastic. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's clearly his strength, is like because he's the Tonys and all that. That's his strength.
Yeah.
And Jack Brack's honesty.
Oh,
Dude,
and
we
he
don't
got
like you.
no love for
I
it. Like
know.
I'm like, oh shit, he's telling it like it is.
Or maybe they didn't like it because it was rock.
Yeah.
We can't have rock. Eric
Well,
wanted it off.
He's
Oh, no.
he's Mr. School of Rock, so
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's his thing. But Tenacious D, but I thought it was great, and we don't see a lot of Jack Black these days, so it's
No.
like just to have him like jump up kind of out of nowhere, like I don't know what he was even doing there. Is he in any of the casts of the movies that were
I
nominated?
don't think he was
think
in
so.
anything. I think he
But-
was just brought in for the musical number.
Yeah, yeah.
No. Jack Black. I believe he is a voting member of the Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
And-
right. But
yeah.
I mean, he had kind of like the front row placement of, clearly he was in on the thing. But I don't know. I appreciated his honesty, and I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of that. But
No, I get you on that. The thing is that I kind of knew that he wasn't going to pull anything like what we would expect with like Ricky Gervais or even Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Although I think that would have been pretty awesome if he did kind of pull that stuff off. I was hoping for more of what like Hugh Jackman did when he was the host a few years ago.
yeah,
But I thought that he kind of worked okay for it. This was a very meh ceremony. When it comes to the Oscars, what I want out of the Academy Awards is a celebration of film. To enjoy and embrace all of film, especially the night's nominees, and to kind of just have a lot of fun with all of that. And this year, it felt like they were just trying to hurry up through all the nominees and nominations and move. That the only time that it seemed like it was actually having any fun was when they were doing like the musical numbers.
To me, the musical numbers stole the show. They're far and away the most memorable moments from the show, I think, were the musical numbers, especially Everything is Awesome.
Yes.
Best musical number ever.
I don't know. Glory did a really good job.
Glory,
Yeah.
beyond a shadow of a doubt, earned the Best Song nomination on that performance alone. And seeing like tears in the eyes of the audience for sure, but nothing beats a Lego Oscar. I don't think a real Oscar beats a Lego Oscar.
How awesome was it that Oprah got her Lego Oscar?
Oh, and she was so excited,
yeah.
just the joy on her face.
She earned one in The Color Purple. I'm still mad that she didn't win that one.
Yep, she was happy to get it. But I mean,
Too bad Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't there to be handed a Lego Oscar.
Right. But the Everything is Awesome performance with Tegan and Sarah, Lonely Island, Questlove, Will Arnett, Mark Mothersbaugh. I mean, that was fantastic.
When Mark Mothersbaugh showed up, that was awesome. That was when I really cheered. Like, I didn't know that was Will Arnett in the suit. I hoped it was, but I wasn't sure.
And I'm like, he's here in a Lego Batman suit. That's amazing.
And Batman can shred.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He must always train to be the best.
Yep.
Don't you know your Batman lore? Whatever it is, he has to be the best.
Well, he's also Job, you know. But and maybe that's how when Neil Patrick Harris did what he did with the envelope this year, which
he just had. It was a dead dove in there somewhere too.
Of course.
Yeah.
But all right, so okay, out of curiosity, also before we start talking about the winners and stuff and what we thought about all of that, was there a moment that you really enjoyed outside of the musical numbers that just kind of gave you some fun, or maybe an awkward moment that just you feel like you just need to talk about?
I mean, for me, the delegate from Poland choosing not to yield his time.
Oh yeah.
During his speech, to me, that is perfect. I feel like this year we're getting to that the music does not matter at all. Like, they can play the music, they can stop the music, they can start the music again. It doesn't matter. They're there for their moment, and it doesn't matter because there's all this. They know there's all this other patter that goes along with the Oscars, whether it's the music or the jokes or the gags or whatever. But really, ultimately, you're there to celebrate the award winners. And if they take an extra 30 seconds to thank their dog or whoever, I mean, that's what I'm watching to see. So forget it. Forget about the music. I think the mic just needs to go back down into the floor. If they've, they can start to bend over or whatever.
Chase
But
the mic.
just they'll squat and get lower in line. I'd like to thank my mom.
Now that would be entertaining for them to keep talking while the mic is lowering and
but
doing
eventually it would go away and they just are done. But yeah, the music, I don't think there were 2 or 3 speeches where the music started up and then it got to something about suicide and then
Got it.
Yep. Okay, go ahead, and then it'll come back up.
I just love the fact that the one time that the orchestra didn't even think about trying to do anything with it was the sound design and sound mixers. It's like, I'll cut you right now. I'll cut you off. You want to mess with me? It's like, I know you. But I thought it was kind of funny. But for me, it was the scene that was both the most memorable, funny, and awkward. Had to have been Adele Nazim and Gigazod.
What did you tell us to do before? Don't touch our face. Don't touch our face.
The face.
Touch the face.
Touch your face.
With Hans Travolta over there.
Seriously, although I have to admit, if you're gonna get handsy, to do that to Scarlett Johansson, maybe inappropriate, but definitely one of those things that you'll never get another chance like that. So if you're gonna go to jail, go make it worth it, you know.
Go big or go home.
I guess so.
But no, it was. But yeah, I did love the fact that Idina Menzel got to have her revenge in front of a live audience. I thought that the banter that they had while doing that bit, I thought was kind of fun. You could tell that as much as this has been embarrassing for Idina, that it was also embarrassing for John Travolta.
Yeah, but okay, so you invite him to make up for the one weird thing that he did, and he just does more weird stuff. So it's like a never-ending cycle of, next time they're going to bring him back as the bubble boy and keep him in the bubble so he can't touch anybody.
I honestly think that this year that the Academy had hired a pharmacist to be on call for everyone, because it looked like Marion Cotillard was about to go into fits of giggles like every 5 seconds with this kind of weird look on her face. Before the Oscars, Robin Roberts looked like she had farted and was just trying not to let anybody know that she did. It was like that kind of smirk going on. I'm just wondering if perhaps they had like some sort of pharmacologist or drug dealer behind the scenes.
Well, it's a rainy day in LA. It was a rainy day in LA. They all have to up their Xanax, and
they forgot the Coke at home, and
yeah.
I don't know. Terrence Howard definitely. I mean, part of he did kind of the introduction to Selma and everything, or for Whiplash and Selma, and okay, I understand. Yeah, Whiplash is a very emotional movie, and you don't. It's like even when he's trying to talk about it, it's like the words fail the emotional element of that movie. But part of me still thinks that maybe he had a little something before. It was just trying to hold on to his sanity because he got really emotional. Like,
I thought he was going to get emotional introducing Selma, and then he goes Whiplash, and it's like, what?
Like, oh.
Or maybe he was beaten as a child playing drums. I don't know.
Yeah. Not my tempo. Not my tempo.
Not my tempo. I love that part. Okay, I'm sorry. The Birdman
recurring,
was awesome, and we'll be talking about Birdman on an episode of our podcast.
I would not have gotten that joke if it wasn't for I had literally just finished watching Birdman. And then, I mean, I knew the Whiplash thing from another spoof that I'd seen with Michaela Watkins on Funny or Die, but the when he's there with his bathrobe, and I knew that he would have a number of costume changes, and they said it's surprising. One of them is surprising. So I was like, okay, I know he's going to come out in some kind of outfit, but I was not expecting his tighty whities.
Yeah. I have to admit the pullback to the Whiplash, because one of the things that when you see, I saw Whiplash before I saw Birdman. So when throughout the movie, the Birdman loves to have the drum solos. I think the entire score is a drum solo.
Yeah, it basically is. I just watched it today, and it's a drum.
Yeah. But the fact that Whiplash was all about a drummer, it only made sense that they tied those two together, and him hitting Miles Teller on the head and saying "not his tempo" just was a great callback to one of the most intense scenes in the movie. But I
think the fact that it was actually the actor that is from the movie who presented like the next presentation. He was one of the presenters. That made it. If it was just some guy, I don't know if it would have played. But if you're like, oh, the drummer, and then you look up and it's the guy from the movie.
Did y'all see J.K. Simmons' Saturday Night Live opener?
I did not get a chance because that was the same weekend as the 40th, wasn't it?
Did I?
No, it was about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I don't think I saw it.
I will say the one kind of like one-off one-liner that Neil Patrick Harris did was he won an Oscar. Bum ba bum 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 bum.
I love that.
The Farmers commercials.
Awesome.
Which I see the Farmers commercials, and first I was like, oh, it's J. Jonah Jameson, and now I'm like, And
I love
want to be in his insurance class.
And I love the fact that the first commercial that they do after he wins the Academy Award is the M&Ms.
Yep.
Because he is the yellow M&M.
Is he really?
Yellow M&M. Yes, he is the yellow M&M. So
the one that kind of talks like this?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Really?
Yes. I was wondering if they were going to put Academy Award winning Yellow M&M on that, just as kind of a way to go JK kind of thing. I'm sorry. I am so happy that J.K. Simmons has won an Oscar, and for this movie, I've been championing this movie from the moment I saw it, and I am so glad that it won not just this Oscar, but it went on to win 2 others on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, it is like the third best movie because, I mean, if you think just in terms of Oscar wins, Birdman had 4, Grand Budapest had 4, and Whiplash had 3. So,
yes. And on top of that, I know this is kind of interesting for me at least. All of the Best Picture nominees had at least one win somewhere.
Yeah.
American Sniper got sound editing.
Right.
Whiplash, obviously J.K. Simmons. Boyhood, Patricia Arquette won. Selma for Best Song.
Yep.
Imitation Game, which surprised me for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Right.
Really, really surprised me.
And a great speech from the writer.
It's a great speech, but to me, it's like Damien Chazelle. I'm sorry, it's just this kid. He's like 28 years old, and on his first feature film directing, it was so impressive. I mean, this is, you could tell that this guy's got more. This is going to be someone that we're going to be paying attention to for, probably the same level as Paul Thomas Anderson at this point.
The screenwriter was very young as well.
Yeah, well, Chazelle wrote Whiplash.
Oh no, I'm talking.
Oh, you mean Imitation Game? Yeah.
Yeah,
he was also
screenwriter. Yeah.
But
I mean, again, it's really nice to see that kind of spread, and every one of the acting winners was from a different film as well that won the Oscar. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So I guess let's go ahead and let's talk about the winners and the nominees. Before we go any further, I went for 8 for 8. I was able to see all 8 films before the Academy Awards. How many did y'all get to see before the ceremonies?
I saw the Best Picture winner.
There
Just
you go.
the one.
Yeah.
So.
Which I mean, now watching the awards, I always like to look at the little snippets to see which looks the most interesting. And I would say probably Whiplash I want to see. I want to see Imitation Game, and I want to see Grand Budapest Hotel. And Selma, I think. American Sniper, I'm going to skip, I think. I'm probably going to skip Boyhood, I'm not going to lie. And I'm on the fence.
You better not skip Boyhood.
I'm on the fence about Theory of Everything. Although seeing Eddie Redmayne win, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll check.
I think he was more surprised than anyone else.
Well, I think he was. I think that, I mean, if you want to get into it, I think the smart money was on Keaton, right? And
yeah. No, actually, it actually came more to Eddie Redmayne by the time of the.
Well, like the Golden Globes, right? Because they split it, and then the BAFTA. But I mean, the BAFTA. Come on, you're not going to give it to the guy who played Stephen Hawking or whatever. But
no, I mean they've done it before, where especially if an American performance is vastly better than a British performance, they'll go with the American.
Yeah.
But in this instance, the thing for me is that I love both performances. Eddie Redmayne did a great job with Theory of Everything, but the thing is that performance was one of 2 parts. You see, Eddie Redmayne's performance would not have been as impressive without Felicity Jones's. And for me, it's like if he's gonna win, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, but if Felicity Jones's performance was just as important, if not more important. In fact, I was actually more impressed with her performance in Theory of Everything than I was his, and that's saying a lot because I was really impressed by his performance. That when Julianne Moore won, part of me was kind of disappointed because she was locked from pretty much minute 1.
Mm-hmm.
She won every award, but Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl was insanely great. She was my best performance of last year. Felicity Jones, again, just a phenomenal performance, and neither one got much in the way of awards, and they both deserve just a crap load of awards, and Julianne Moore just took them all. It
Yeah.
is really kind of sad, for me anyway.
Well, and that's the thing is when you have a front runner, you've got a front runner, and with kind of like the momentum that these roles get, it's kind of hard to say, well, she's going to win all the awards, but the Oscars is going to go a different way. Like I don't think it tends to work that way. But I think, to me, I thought Eddie Redmayne winning was a surprise. I thought that was maybe the one upset of the night.
Well, there's actually several upsets, which leads me to Best Animated Feature, because the winner for the animation awards outside of Lego Movie have been How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it won the Annie Award, which actually beat out Lego Movie to win the Annie.
Yeah.
And it won practically every other award coming into the Oscars, and then the Oscar Big Hero 6 wins. Now, I enjoyed Big Hero 6. I won't lie, it didn't even make my top 20, but it's a pretty good movie. That said, I am so happy Feast won.
Which
Feast
it was paired with in theatrical release.
Yes.
They were paired together.
Packaged with.
They
if you
were.
would say.
It was a package deal, one would say.
But Feast, yeah, that was a great short. When it comes to the animated shorts, or actually all shorts, because only past winners or past nominees get to vote for the shorts specifically, they can go in very different direction than the other nominees. And they were usually more, or should I say, they're less political than in some other races, like the acting races and the Best Picture races. But I have to admit, though, I'm really disappointed I didn't get to see all the animated and short films this year, because they all looked really interesting, and I hope to at some point get to talk about.
The winning documentary short was filmed in my area. It's the one about the Veterans Call Center.
Mm-hmm.
That's based in Western New York.
Can we talk about that real quick? Some of the outcry I've been seeing, because I've seen people complaining that American Sniper didn't win Best Picture, and they will never mention the fact that Crisis Hotline won documentary, and it's perhaps, if you want to think about it, maybe the more important of the two movies.
It is. The thing when it comes to American Sniper, the problem is that yes, it is a very popular movie, especially with certain sects of the American population, but at the same time, it's also a very divisive movie, and it's one of those that, in all honesty, it was the one movie out of the 8 that didn't deserve to be there. It didn't deserve the glorification that it got, not because of the politics, but just because it was just not really well made. I kind of spoke about that when we talked about Mystic River on our podcast, which you can find on iTunes, Arthouse Legends. But at the same time, though, to me, I know that when Bradley Cooper didn't win Best Actor, Chris Kyle's widow, who was in attendance last night, stormed out and was seen being, was rather upset about the loss.
But she had a temper tantrum that he didn't win?
I don't know if it was a temper tantrum, but you could tell that she was upset that Bradley Cooper didn't win this. In her opinion, he should have won. I will completely disagree on that.
Well, I mean, I think regardless, there's a personal element of it. Yes. I mean, obviously, that was the performance that was most important to her, and I mean, I can understand disappointment
Yeah.
I will say that they acknowledge this during the broadcast that American Sniper has made the most money
Yes.
of all of the nominees.
Well, it's going to
So
be the most highest-grossing film of 2014 in about 2 weeks
yeah,
from right now, anyway.
and it will keep that exactly as long as it takes Avengers: Age of Ultron to come out. But
Well, no, I mean,
Or
it's
Star Wars in
2014.
December.
of
Yeah.
the past year.
Yes, it's
Oh,
a
okay.
2014 film. It's not a 2015 film.
No, but I mean, did it make that much in the calendar year confines of 2014, or
How they do that is if the
by
film was
by
initially
release
released
date?
within the calendar year of 2014 from January 1st to December 31st. It was released in limited release at Christmas, and it got a wider release in January. But
Gotcha.
technically speaking, it came out in December.
Right.
Therefore, it is a 2014 film, and it is going to outpass Guardian. It's already outpassed Guardians of the Galaxy, and it is now going to catch up and beat Mockingjay Part One in just a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's that's good, I think. I mean, regardless of the film itself, I mean, people are still interested in going to see Oscar winner or Oscar nominees of one stripe or another, whether or not they truly deserve it.
Me, I just wish that they would have shown the fake baby somewhere in the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard about the fake baby, and that's maybe the only reason I'm a little curious to see American Sniper, but I don't know.
I can't wait for it to come out on DVD so that some people will take that scene and add like different special sound effects to it. You know, maybe have like Chucky, speak while.
Make it a Teddy Ruxpin.
All
I
right,
started,
so fake babies aside, do we want to talk about the best film according to the Academy,
Sure. Let's talk about Birdman.
or the unexpected ignorance of bliss,
Oh.
or virtue of ignorance, or something like that?
It's the I forgot this something.
The unexpected virtue of ignorance.
Was there ever in your mind another film that was going to win the Oscar? Or was it
Boyhood.
Yeah.
I don't think Boyhood was even close, buddy. I hate to say it.
I'm sorry. It won. It won practically as many awards, if not more awards, than Birdman did. Last on Saturday night at the Independent Spirit Awards, which is one of the cool things about this year. Practically all of the nominees for the acting awards for the Academy were the same ones that were for the Independent Spirit Awards.
Yeah.
For the most part, and yes, during the Spirit Awards, Michael Keaton won instead of Eddie Redmayne. The rest, I think, are practically the same. Patricia Arquette won, Julianne Moore won, and J.K. Simmons won. But Birdman didn't win Best Director. It didn't win Best Picture. And while the Spirit Awards is not ever an indicator, it was kind of, considering how closely tied those two films were. And in the same way, since we had a lot of kind of the same things that happened last year kind of come up this year, in the sense of how the race came down to 12 Years a Slave and what was it?
Gravity.
Gravity.
That's what I kind of expected this year. I thought maybe we'd see a split where you would go Linklater could get the director, but I didn't think he was going to get Best Picture. And Ken and I were corresponding back and forth a little bit, and both of us were commenting on how the Grand Budapest Hotel was picking up a lot of those early wins, which isn't always a sign that that film is going to win Best Picture.
But I thought it
was
might
like
pick up director.
Grand Budapest, and they kept cutting to Wes Anderson sitting there, and I was thinking, okay, maybe, because the Golden Globes, and I usually use the Golden Globes kind of as my roadmap to the Oscars. and it was Grand Budapest Hotel and Birdman, and it was Michael Keaton, Eddie Redmayne, and a lot of the back and forth because they split it between drama and musical comedy. So, and I was thinking, oh, is Grand Budapest Hotel going to do it? But I think, honestly, in my mind, I think Birdman had it from the outset, and I've mentioned this before in other forums, but the last couple of years there's been this trend of The Artist, Argo, films that are in some way related to showbiz about actors acting and saying acting things and being actorly. It's,
But Birdman's a bit different because it's critical to Hollywood specifically.
well, it's
When we talk about Birdman, and we are going to be talking about Birdman on a
Yeah.
podcast,
we definitely will.
Oh yeah, we got to talk Birdman later.
It's tradition.
it won. We have to talk the winners.
Yeah,
I
we
bought
do.
the DVD, so come on, I've got investment going here now. Picked it up this morning after work and watched it and took a nap. So,
We don't, however, have to talk about Boyhood, which I'm kind of relieved.
We are talking about
we'll be
Boyhood.
good
You're not getting
anyway.
out of that.
Yeah.
You're not getting out of that. We're talking Boyhood.
I almost watched it the other day, and then I looked, and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh.
It's a 12-year of growth cycle.
Yeah, I'd rather watch all the Harry Potter movies and see the same process.
I heard that last night on Twitter too. It's like, there's nothing new here about putting a camera on a young kid and watching him grow up. Go watch all 8 Harry Potter movies.
I'd rather watch it.
Y'all are getting yourselves in the danger zone right now. Okay, I'm just saying. You're in the danger zone.
I'm prepared to watch it and admit that I was wrong. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, again, that's one of the great things about our podcast, in which we get to decide whether we think that the critics, or in this case myself, which Boyhood was number 1.
Yeah.
Birdman was number 5.
And I have problems with Birdman, so we can talk about that too. But Birdman. Let's go back to Birdman because it didn't just win Best Picture; it won Best Cinematographer, and so for the second year in a row, Emmanuel Lubezki wins cinematography. And that's I think we pay a lot of attention to that award, don't we?
We do, specifically for Emmanuel Lubezki, who, again, this was his second in a row, with one of the Three Amigos. Lubezki won with Alfonso Cuarón last year. Yeah. He wins with Alejandro Iñárritu this year. I don't know if he's working on Crimson Peak, which is Guillermo's movie this year. Yeah. I don't think so. I think he actually worked on the new Terrence Malick movie, which at some point we're going to have to talk Malick, especially
that'd be fun.
Especially considering that he uses this cinematographer. So we're going to have to get some more talk about him, but. When it comes to cinematographers, he is possibly one of the best. I've been impressed with his stuff. I want to say the first time I was really impressed was Children of Men. The long takes that he had.
Yes. And it's funny because they get longer and longer. Like, if you look at Children of Men, there's a lot of long takes in that. You look at Gravity, it gets longer, and then Birdman is just the whole thing, pretty much.
At the same time, he's also capable of doing really great small shots, as he did with Tree of Life with Terrence Malick. He also did some really great nature shots in the New World, another Malick film that I hope that we'll talk about. Although if we do talk, we need to talk the extended cut, which I think is just a much better movie. But he is so good at all various types of shots. Incredible use of color in his movies. Tree of Life, especially, if you ever see that movie, you might hate the movie, but you can't say that it doesn't look good. It's one of those movies that needs to be put on an IMAX screen because you want to get every color out of that. You want to get every shot. You want to bask in the beauty of this movie and how it was photographed, and that is all on him. But at the same time, though, I'm really glad that Tom Cross won for Whiplash for editing, which I know y'all haven't seen yet, but editing is so important in that movie, and it was really important for me that this movie win because they could have easily gone to to Birdman or to any of the other movies that just didn't have that same sense of vitality with the editing, and that's even going up against Birdman. So you know what I'm talking about because editing is pretty decent in that movie too.
Birdman. Wait, Birdman wasn't nominated for film editing.
I thought it was.
American Sniper, Boyhood, Grand Budapest, Imitation Game, Whiplash.
Oh.
I think they really thought there was no editing in Birdman.
Oh,
possibly.
I mean, maybe because it's so deft, right? So when there are parts where it is edited, it's not that quick cut and you notice it. Like it's just, and it's a different scene.
Point a camera down the hallway, we're going to cut, and we're going to come back tomorrow, and the camera's still pointed down the hallway, set the lighting the same, and go.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to the end of this particular episode.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, is there one nomination or one win that you wish that you could reverse? One that you wish that you could change the outcome?
I would take it away from Patricia Arquette and give it to Emma Stone, but just so I could see more Emma Stone.
You are dangerously getting on my short list.
It's what I'm here for.
I'm going to reserve that because, Patricia Arquette may have been the best part of Boyhood.
I'm
so,
fine with her winning and all that. I just, maybe a little bit more Emma Stone on screen. Not a bad thing. Not really when you think about it, but
I would have at least reversed to make Lego Movie nominated for animated feature.
Yeah. Although just that
even if they lost,
that everything is awesome. But I was like, that's their moment. It doesn't. They're not going to win the best song. It's going to go to Glory. But that's just perfect, and to share that with everybody. I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's really that much I would change from this telecast. It's just, I mean, could they figure out a way to get through it quicker? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not. And if they try framing the speeches, no, that's maybe 10, 15 minutes tops.
I mean,
and here they were an hour over.
And unfortunately, I don't want to have them cut the musical performances, which I thought this year were like the best part of the show. And they really saved the best for last with the trifecta of Glory, Jennifer Hudson, and Lady Gaga to like.
Oh, Jennifer Hudson just killed that song.
Oh, fantastic! So fantastic.
It's like she reminds us why we miss her. And it was one of those things where I was at the Alamo Draft House watching the Oscar party there, and it's like you could hear that everyone was going like, "Man, if there's one person that knows enough about loss, it would be her."
Yeah.
Because of the events that happened in her life, but
sure.
It's like part of me is also going like, come back. We miss you.
Do you think? And this is we're going to get a little dangerous territory here. Do you think that they did enough to make up for the fact that there weren't that many people of color nominated? Because it seemed like, and this was noted on Twitter and social media, that every time they cut away or cut to a presenter or somebody, there's Octavia Spencer, and she was a part of a running joke in the show, and Oprah, and
They tried. I'll say that there was definitely an attempt to show diversity in the crowd, and not just token. Hey, we have black people and brown people here.
Tweet you for David Oweleyu,
Every time I saw him, I got mad because he should have been nominated.
He should have. Yeah.
Fewer jokes from Neil Patrick Harris about that would have been nice, because there were people pissed off about, oh, look how white it is. Like, whose fault is that? Or the Annie joke, which had no...
Okay, understand.
That I think was earned, and I think they know that it was earned.
Yeah,
They really made that guy, whoever, I forget his name. You could tell he was uncomfortable saying that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Cameron Diaz just won her Razzie, so it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a.
Although I would have given anything for Kirk Cameron to have shown up.
Did you guys look at the results from the Razzie?
Yes,
This
I
past-
did.
No, I didn't see the results.
He
Batman.
swept.
He swept?
Well, except Michael Bay, worst director, and,
But-
Kelsey Grammer, worst supporting actor, or I'm sorry, worst director, worst supporting actor, not best. That's a different show.
Best worst.
But
and Affleck got the Redeemer Award, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
I was like, my mind exploded when I realized that a future Batman was giving an award to a film starring a past Batman, basically about Batman.
Batman, yeah.
Mhm.
And there was another Batman on stage that.
Yeah.
The brains.
Okay. Let's leave it. Let's leave this at the thought of a lot of Batman. All right. But
There they are. Listen, right there. Gotham Nightline on the Gonna Geek Network, folks.
Yes.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And Crimson Comet there too. Don't forget.
Oh, I can't tell it's crimson because we're in black and white. Remember?
Just imagine. Just imagine.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Besides, he's going to be a blur anyway.
It could be the Reverse Flash, but the lightning bolts.
Yeah.
But yes, we are part of the Gonna Geek Network. Please make sure to check out www.gonnageek.com for a variety of webcasts and podcasts and great articles and everything that you want from geeks. Our podcast, Arthouse Legends, you can find them there. You can also find us on iTunes. If you have anything that you want to bring up, please hit it in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to the Arthouse Legends feed. We are going to post a lot of videos and a lot of awesome stuff throughout the upcoming weeks. This will be the end of our Oscar watch for a while, but we have a lot of really awesome stuff, including our first ever televised live debate.
What?
Yes,
What are we talking? What?
we're debating you, me. This is going to be Rocky and Ivan Drago.
I am going to wear a suit. That's going to be awesome.
Yes, we're doing this live. You're going to be able to come and listen to us. It'll be on Sunday, March 15th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be discussing two movies. I'm going to be taking one. My man Lobster here is going to take another.
Yeah.
And we're going to have ourselves a rather passionate and semi-professional debate where we're going to pit one of Hollywood's more known quantities against a little-known indie film. And what do we pick this week, Lobster? Or what did you pick?
Well, so we settled on a science fiction theme since we're both sci-fi nerds, and that's for our first go at this. We decided we're going to start in kind of comfortable territory. So I have selected to represent the big budget corner, and I will be presenting a film from the year
2000.
The year 2000. Okay, so you know it's good sci-fi because it's the year 2000, and it's a send up of fandom and Star Trek and all of that good stuff, but it works so well on its own. Galaxy Quest.
And I, on the other hand, am taking the small little indie film with one of the great visual effects pioneers of all time, Douglas Trumbull's Silent Running. And we're gonna
movies I have seen, and I will moderate.
Silent,
I will probably watch them again. Yes, actually.
All right. But that will be on Sunday, March 15th, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So the live component, this is our fans can get in on the action during the debate, right? Like,
part of the debate will allow for live questions. Again, moderator will be determining which questions will be a part of the debate. But again, you'll be able to watch us live as we duke it out, and then of course we will post it onto the YouTube channel, both for Gonna Geek and for Arthouse Legends. And we hope that you'll join us for Arthouse Showdown.
Galaxy Quest versus Silent Running.
Submit your questions to me, and I, to the watcher, will do something. I don't know.
But before then, we have a lot of great stuff that we're going to be posting on here. Please check it out. I hope that you enjoy it. Again, subscribe, show us some love, get on to GonnaGeek.com. Give us a little love there. We can take it.
And you can hit us up on Twitter to let us know, I mean, how we're looking, because you might be seeing our faces really for the first time, and it might haunt your waking or sleeping moments thinking about what we actually look like after listening to us for so long.
But until then, this is the MovieDude Eric.
This is Kent.
And this is John the Lobster.
And Fiend.